Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Joshua with Simple Keys. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be teaching you one of the most common chord progressions that you ever hear playing music, and this is called the 2-5-1 progression. Now, this progression is mainly used to end songs, and you may or may not be familiar with it. If you play music, or if you haven't played music in your life, you are intuitively aware of this chord progression. So what I'm going to do in this video is just break it down for you so you get a better understanding of what it is and how you can use it in your playing right away. All right, so what is the 2-5-1 progression? So the 2-5-1 progression is moving from the second tone to the fifth tone to the first tone. Now, if you want to understand what this is, you have to understand the major scales. Now, if you understand your keys, all 12 keys, then you can easily understand what the 2-5-1 progression is. Because if you know anything about music, music is based on numbers. So if you know your major scale, pretty much all we're doing is just numbering each tone of the scale. And the 2-5-1 is moving from the second tone to the fifth tone, then back down to the first tone. So I'm going to show you how this looks like on the keyboard. But before we do, I also want to break down diatonic chords. Now, I know it sounds like a big word and a big term, but it's very, very simple. Diatonic chords are chords that are based and created naturally from the scale. So when you understand how to create chords on each tone of the scale, because every major scale has got 7 unique degrees, and then on each tone there is a chord that falls naturally on each tone. So as you see in this video, if you land on the second tone, it's going to be, let's say, a minor chord. If you land on the fifth tone, it's going to be a major chord, and if you land on the first tone, it's going to be a major chord. It's easier to explain this with the visuals on the keys, but I just want you to get that idea in the back of your mind. So once you understand how to play chords and understand how you create progressions with these chords, then the 2-5-1 will make a lot of sense. And you've heard it a lot, like in songs like Happy Birthday. Maybe you've heard it from Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Like, I like to use these simple songs so you can get the idea, but they get more advanced as you start playing bigger genres like jazz or gospel music or contemporary music or pop music. But the basic idea is the same. So the best way to do this is to show you guys how to do this on the keyboard. We're going to be in the key of C major, and let's get right into it. All right, so what we're doing is moving from the second tone to the fifth tone to the first tone. So that's pretty much all we're doing, from the second tone, fifth tone, first tone. So if you know anything about chords, there's certain chords that fall naturally on certain tones. So if we're on the second tone, I'm going to teach you this. There's a few ways you can actually play the 2-5-1 chord progression. You can play it based on the diatonic chords, which is the chords that are naturally formed from the scale. So this would be like a D minor chord, a G major chord. That's what we call just like the basic 2-5-1 chord progression. But what you hear over time is that this doesn't really sound like a lot of songs that you hear. So even if we sing Happy Birthday, happy birthday to you, see, it sounds okay. Here's a better way to play it. So I'm gonna move my bass tones down here. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play it here so it sounds a little bit fuller. What I'm gonna play is an F major chord here. All right, that's what we're gonna call the 2. Keep the same fourth tone chord, which is an F major chord. And then on the first chord, we're gonna play this. This is just a different version of the C major chord. So happy birthday to you. So that one sounds a lot like the songs that you might hear, or next time won't you sing with me. So that's what we call the 2-5-1 chord progression. Now, that's just a very basic form of it. And as you get more advanced, you can actually start adding a lot more chords just to make it a lot sweeter. Same idea, and that's what we call the 2-5-1 chord progression. When you start playing more jazz, that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of these bigger changes. All right, so let me just show you one more. So you can get an idea of like maybe different ways you can end it. So, or end a song. So 2-5-1 is, sorry. That's a very jazzy one, but the idea is the same. So most songs would just go for 2-5-1. Or if you want to be a little bit more fancy with it, you can go. All right. So that's essentially 2-5-1 in a nutshell. You can take these ideas into different keys. Let's say if I'm in the key of D flat major, see, so it's the same idea, and it's used mostly just to end songs. So that's an idea just to give you guys. And if you also want to learn, let's say, a little bit more about this stuff, just go ahead and grab one of our courses on understanding just chords and progressions, because this will help you understand why this works the way it does. But this is just an excellent example of what the 2-5-1 chord progression would sound like. All right, so just take that one with you. 2, 5, 1. Okay, so that's it, guys. All right, guys, so that's the end of this video. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, give it a like, comment, leave your feedback at the bottom, and subscribe, so that way you can get more information on this and you'll be notified when the next video comes up. But there's a lot more coming your way. Hopefully this stuff is helpful, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. But I will see you guys in the next video.